Hello, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to dive into some money saving tricks that I use personally. And I know some clients that have used it, some people who aren't clients that I've talked to have used it, and some of them really work for them. So I figure who better to help you save some money than somebody who's trying to help you grow your money, right? Which is a financial advisor, which is me. I've been doing this for over 13 years. I help people get to financial freedom as quickly as possible. My name's Lisa. Welcome if you have not seen a video. Welcome to the community, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're gonna go through 5 little tricks that I go through and we'll talk through them. I have more, so if you would like to see more of them, please let me know. I'm happy to do more videos like this. So let's jump into it. So the first one is I have a rule that I will not buy anything off of social media. So, you know, you're scrolling through Instagram, through Facebook, through X, through whatever you're scrolling through, Pinterest, you know, any different thing out there. And there's all these amazing ads that are out there that almost look like a video from a friend, especially on Instagram, right? They just pop up in the middle of you going through stories and you know, and also you've got many influencers out there that are talking about the new greatest thing that is out there in XYZ category. For me, it's a lot of makeup and beauty and stuff. And so you've got these influencers out there that are doing their job and influencing you to make money for themselves, which is okay. Everybody knows what's happening, right? But I won't buy anything from my phone, basically. I won't buy it from social media. What I do is there's always a share button, right? Because they want you to, if you're already a customer, they want you to share it with a friend. So there is always a share option. I use that share option and I either text it to myself or I email it to myself. I find that emailing is actually better. If I email it to myself, then I'm able to, you know, push it off, right? A text shows right up, and then if you leave it there, then it's, I always get annoyed when I see the little text emoji up there. It drives me crazy. I can't stand just leaving a text there and you might completely forget about it, which actually might not be horrible, right? If you completely forgot about it, because the whole idea is to stop that urgent buying, the, you know, the impulse buys. And so I email it to myself. Now, I obviously have my work email that I'm on most of the day. I don't really go to my personal email that much. And usually when I am going through my personal email, I'm either going for something in specific, I'm looking at an article or a newsletter that got sent to me that I'm interested in, or I'm sorting and organizing my emails because there's too many of them, right? And so when I do that, I have noticed that I would say 5 out of 10 times, I just delete the emails I've sent to myself without even looking at what it is. And if I look at them, I usually go, why was I thinking about that? So out of the 5 times that I am actually looking at it, 3 or 4, probably would say 4 of the times, I'm like, why was I interested in this? Like, I don't need that. And maybe 1 out of 10 times I purchase. I don't even think it's that much, really. I think it's probably 1 out of 20 or 30 times. And it just stops that impulse buy, right? Because when you're scrolling through social media, you are in, most of the time I would say, and I'm not a psychologist, obviously, so I don't know for sure, but I always feel like in a very eased, kind of happy state of mind, that kind of state of mind that is perfect for purchasing stuff, you know. That's why in malls, they play music and they have this, you know, benches, and so they want you to hang out. They want you to have a good time because people purchase more when they are having a good time, including having alcohol or anything like that, right? And so, you know, and to me, social media can put me, you know, I'm relaxing when I'm looking at social media. I'm not doing it in the middle of my Tuesday, you know, like I'm actually working, and then I'm using that time to relax. And so on YouTube and all the different things, they know that, and so they try to take advantage of that kind of relaxed state of mind you might be in. And so that's my rule. I don't buy anything off of social media sites directly. I always share that to myself in a way that I know that I'm not going to look at it directly right away. And so at that point, then I don't purchase most of the time because I don't need it, right? All right, so number 2 is I always shop and do research on different things. So if I'm purchasing something, even if it's a $10 product, I start doing some research and going, can I get a better price? Is there a better thing out there? Is it worth paying more money than the $10 for something that's maybe a better quality? And I do research on everything. It drives my husband probably kind of crazy, although he likes it because then I do the research and he goes, okay, well, I know it's well researched, but I'm sure it kind of drives him crazy. I don't just do, impulse buys. I'm always looking at different websites to see if there's a better price someplace, if there's a better product someplace, that kind of thing. And I've made it kind of a habit. It's not even something I think about anymore. I just start researching it. And the reason I do that, I started doing that was one or two things. A, I don't like getting ripped off. I just don't. I work hard for my money. I know a lot of you work hard for your money. And even if it's $5, I don't want to pay $5. I don't want to pay for shipping if I don't have to. I hate it. Way to lose me as a consumer is don't tell me how much I need to put in my basket in order to get shipping. And then, you put this ad up being like, everything's, $20. And then I find something, put it in, you've got to, buy 5 things in order to get the shipping. I won't purchase. That drives me insane. Drives me insane. Be upfront with your costs. I will not purchase if you don't advertise it correctly. Or, you say there's a discount code, but that discount code won't work, with your shipping. So your shipping is astronomical. I just won't do it. And so I guess my message for this is doing the research guards you against paying too much. And honestly, sometimes I end up talking myself out of it. I end up going, why am I doing, this is not that important in life. And I kind of move on. And maybe eventually I purchase something in that vein of whatever I was looking at. But I just, I just feel like that's kind of part of it too, is I give up on that. And it also makes me very protective of my money, even if it's $5, it just drives me crazy. So that is one thing, doing some research on different products. And it doesn't have to be some high, it's not like a television I'm telling you to do research on. Sometimes I'm telling you to do research on a top. If you see a top on Amazon, there probably is someplace else too, a very similar looking one, and maybe it's a better price. Maybe, they're trying to charge you shipping because it's not Prime or you're not a Prime member, and, you find it someplace else. Just do some research. Make sure that when you're making a purchase, you are consciously involved with it. It helps you kind of suss out if you need it or not. I don't know how many times I put things in my basket and I just delete them because I start going, I don't want to research this stuff, so I just delete it. So it does save me money. We do have a lot of Amazon packages that come here and a lot of packages that come here, so I'm not going to act like I'm wonderful and I never spend money. That's not the truth. I probably spend way more money than I should. My husband's always like, what is this now? What did you order now, right? But I do at least feel comfortable with the purchases I made, that I actually did the research and I will use them. I hate purchasing something and I never use it. It drives that to me is a big waste of money, and you can only get mad at yourself in that case. All right, get refunds that you deserve. Now, you've heard me say this a couple times. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch beauty and fashion and that kind of thing. It's the complete opposite of my day job, and I like having those two sides of myself, right? And so essentially, I hear often, a lot of times, people say, I'm so bad at refunds. I'm so bad at returning things. I'm so bad at, sending it back through Amazon or something like that. And to me, I personally, you do what you want, it's your money, but personally, that does not compute to me. If something comes broken, I want a replacement or I want a refund. If something comes and it's not right or there's a blemish on it, I want to return or I want a refund. Return, and get a new one or a refund. I am not taking a subpar product. In fact, that just happened this morning. I got a little eyeshadow kit, and they had done a very bad job packaging it. I will not mention the company, but you know who you are. They'd done a very bad job packaging it. It had come out of the mailing sleeve of all things, which is crazy. And then they hadn't packaged it within the sleeve at all, within the mailing sleeve. And it was all shattered. It was shattered. And I'm not paying for that. I'm just not. And they can lose me as a customer altogether if they don't do that. I wrote them, I say, I'm asking for either a refund or a replacement. And I will tell you, most of them will do that. If you send pictures, I always say take pictures of stuff. You know, if things come harmed or broken or something, take a picture. And it's always good. You don't have to send the picture, but it's always good to have the picture and say, I have pictures if you would like to see it. That's, you know, to me, it shows that you mean business, that you are taking this seriously. And I want a refund. I want a refund, or I want another pallet, and they better be packed properly this time. That's all I'm saying. So again, it sounds like I'm being kind of a hard ass, I guess, when I say that, but I just feel like this is my money. I have chosen to spend my hard-earned dollars with you. You are going to make sure that I'm satisfied as a customer. And I don't feel like I'm actually that hard to satisfy. I'm not that annoying person in a restaurant who's like, there's one thing wrong with my, I don't do that. But when it comes to, you know, I just think I believe in good customer service. I try to do good customer service for my clients. I expect the same in return, essentially. And I think you should, because this is your money that you are giving to them, and you've worked hard for it. And I think you need to make sure that you're being taken care of. And I tell you, there are some, there's one story, and I'll tell the company because I think that they deserve the credit. There's a company called Laura Geller out there. There's a makeup company. And I started kind of with them on my makeup journey when I was starting to get a little bit more into it. And anyhow, one of the, I think it was a blush or something, I can't remember, but something came completely shattered, just completely shattered. And I took a picture and I wrote them and I said, you know, would you replace this or anything? They said, we will send a replacement right away. No problem. They sent it overnight, which was amazing. And they sent me an extra lipstick that I had not paid for. Now, Laura Geller's not cheap. So the extra lipstick was quite a big offering. And they said, we're so sorry that happened. We really pride ourselves in our shipping. We're sorry that happened. Please accept this free gift. That is customer service. Have I gone back and bought some stuff from them? Yeah, because I know that they're gonna handle it properly. So I'm just saying, be very conscientious of how you're spending your money, and don't just let stuff sit there and not return it. You know, I think that that's just such a big waste of money. You could be spending hundreds of dollars a year, maybe more than that, maybe thousands of dollars a year, depending on what you're purchasing. If you will not return something, take the 5 minutes it takes to write the email. You don't even have to call them most of the time. So anyhow, that's my thing. All right, number 4, eating out versus eating in, you know, buying groceries. So we all have this myth that eating out is super expensive and it's better to eat in for our pocketbook. Now, I'm going to say it probably is better to eat in for your health because you know what's going into products. Well, it depends on what you're buying, I guess, right? And sometimes if you buy, you know, some really high processed snack, then that's probably not better for you than going out to eat. But anyhow, it just depends, I guess, what you're buying, right? And where you're going out to eat and where you're buying stuff at home. But there's always this thing when I look at people's budgets. This is probably the biggest thing that I notice when I go through people's budgets is that they have a big, you know, amount, obviously nowadays, particularly a big amount at the grocery store that they're spending, you know, $600 a month, something like that, whatever they're spending a month on groceries. And they're spending, you know, $300 out on going out to eat. And I say to them, let me ask you a question. How much of your groceries are you throwing away every single week? Is it a couple of things? Is it a lot of things? And I tell you, most people kind of sigh and go, you know, every week I think I'm going to eat in. I'm going to cook. We're going to eat healthy this week. And the week just goes crazy. And the idea of cooking just makes me like, I don't want to do it. So we order Uber Eats, or we go out, or we do, you know, something, right? We get fast food, whatever it is. You know, obviously I'm not coming from a health perspective with people, so you do what you need to do, you know, health-wise. If that's okay for you, then do that. That's fine. But I would say that for most people, I actually give them permission to eat out. If you're going to eat out, eat out. Don't buy groceries trying to be good and then waste them all. A, it's being wasteful, but B, you're wasting them and your hard-earned money that you just spent on them. And you know, groceries are not inexpensive anymore, as we all know. And so essentially make sure that you are being honest with yourself on this, right? Feel okay. If you're going to go out and eat, go out and eat. Don't purchase stuff at home to make yourself feel better for going out and eating. You're actually wasting so much money. And people that I've done this with have ended up saving $200 or $300 a month on grocery bills because they stopped buying fresh groceries that they're throwing away. And they just do their Uber Eats, or they just do their, you know, I keep saying Uber Eats, Dash Door, you know, Grubhub, whatever you're using, right? But, you know, they're doing those kind of things, or they're going out to eat, or they're going over to a friend's house and eating there, whatever you do, and they're not throwing away tons of groceries. Now, you're always going to throw something away, right? I do too. But if you're just throwing tons of stuff out every single week, that's an issue, and you need to take a look at it and give yourself permission. If you eat out, you eat out, but just don't purchase stuff at the grocery store that you're going to throw away. And if you decide to purchase stuff at the grocery store, don't go out and eat. You know, you're spending money twice. Okay, and I would say the last one is think if you have something that can already do that job. So I was trying to think of a good example, and I can't think of one right this second, but I will at least give you the thought process of it, because I do this often, where I you know, I'm purchasing something that has some kind of utility. You know, can I, you know, let's say I'm trying to purchase an organizer for my pens on my desk. I don't know, I'm making up something, right? And instead of buying it and just going, oh, it's only $10 and buying it on Amazon, is there anything that you could utilize at the house that maybe you aren't using that could be a great pen holder? Maybe it's an old mug that you haven't been using at all. Maybe it's a vase, and you know, much broader open vase. It's small. That's what I used for years. I use that. I use a cup that my grandpa gave me a long time ago. It gives me a little memory of him, but it holds my pens and it's perfect. Try to think if there are things that you could utilize that you already own, right? Can you repurpose? Can you redo them? Can you, you know, I saw a great video on, I'll go back to makeup because I was looking at makeup stuff, but I saw a great video where she was talking about trends. Her name's Jen Phelps. She's a really nice beauty influencer that I enjoy watching. And she was talking about beauty trends and how you can DIY them at home. And it was just fascinating because she's like, blurring foundation, put your foundation with your blurring primer and there you go. You don't need to buy a blurring foundation. And she was just going through things like that. And that's how I think of things like, you know, can you find utility for something rather than purchasing it? And so it's kind of fun if you actually think about it. Think of different ways that you can do that. Like I got sent, I do some subscription boxes and stuff, and I got sent something that I'm like, I don't think we'll use that, but it will be a perfect gift for so-and-so. And so I've kept that for that. It's less money I have to spend. I got it at a discount. They don't need to know that. Done. So I think that those are some things that you can think of when you are trying to save some money on a day-to-day that aren't budgeting. You know, budgeting is difficult. I have a whole video on budgeting hacks for, you know, for people who don't like budgeting. I'll put that there. Some of these are some ideas that we talk about in there too. But budgeting is, you know, I was just doing a little research on this, and I was looking at a couple articles on budgeting, and there's a reason people hate budgeting, because the tips that they give people are so annoying. It's like, keep a budget every month. Keep, you know, like, people aren't going to do that. They're just not. I mean, if Mint isn't helping them, or one of those kind of apps aren't helping them, then keeping an Excel spreadsheet isn't going to help them either. I think it's great to keep an Excel spreadsheet to see where you are money-wise, how you're doing on your net worth, anything like that. But people just don't sit there and enter all of their expenses all the time. They don't have the time, and it's depressing. So I think that if you can just incorporate some of these habits, you will end up saving more money than you could ever dream of. So until next time, stay calm, stay focused, focus on your goals, and you will get there, I promise you. So with that, thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. It means a lot to me. I hope you got something out of it, and we will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.